why we want to go for XPath and why it is considered as an important one in the DOM or
Many of the
testing.
times, those direct locators may not identify in web element. So we try with different
XPath, different types.
yeah, like along with parent child. Like
Along with CSS and all, it is the one of the way we can identify the web elements.
Web elements.
when the web page is too dynamic with the changing values, then we go for
That
This is also one of the reason we can know the exact path of that one. For the remaining CSS and all, the name may be changed like that. It will be there.
Okay. So XPath we will use when we want to have some parent-child relationships or siblings or ancestors relationship in that way. When we use that is when we have some dynamic values. Okay, so that is an effective way of all the locators. Even if the ID or name changes sometime, XPath will help us in identifying all those stuffs. Okay, so that is where this XPath stands. And CSS is faster than XPath. Okay. Fine. As today we're going to discuss with XPath, I will move with that. Tomorrow we will see CSS and the differences of XPath and CSS.
Yeah.
Okay. Now, I would like to show one thing. So, as we all said, like XML and HTML are close relative to each other's. Okay, they both are like the markup language. This is hypertext, that is extended markup language. Now, but both has their own structure. Okay, XML has its own structure and HTML has its own structure. HTML structure, you can see it in your DOM, developer tool. In the DOM, you can see it. Okay.
Yeah.
But how about XML?
that is what we see in testng XML file or POM XML syntax.
Okay, that is what we are converting XML to the HTML.
Yeah.
That is why the DOM is designed that way.
Okay.
And one thing, I'll just share my screen. So this is the DOM page. We have doc type HTML and it will start with HTML. While coming to I don't give an example. So yesterday I have shown the XML format, right? Which will have a starting tag and closing tag.
Yeah.
Right, this is markup language, so I want a difference. This is the, okay, for this I'll come later. Fine, okay, no issues. I'll just come with this. Now, in XPath, so we are going to have this. This is our DOM, okay, HTML DOM. And this is our developer tool. This full thing is called a developer tool. So to find an XPath or any other locators, this developer tool is having a developer tool through which we can identify the locators and we can go ahead with our testing. Okay. Now we are so we have seen this ID. These are all the attributes. Okay. This is the div, which is a tag name. Attributes for this are ID, style. When we go for CSS, we can use a style. Then again ID, iframe ID. All these are attributes. These are the tag name. And these are the values. One Google bar screen is a value. Okay. So now syntax of your XPath can be either with a single slash or with a double slash. Okay. Now, what is a single slash?
Absolute
Single
XPath.
class to start with parent.
Yes.
Single
Parent.
slash is an absolute XPath. We have two XPaths,
Yes,
absolute and
absolute.
relative.
Relative XPath.
Okay. Now, why we say it as absolute means it will
Starts
start from the HTML, right from
Start.
the start notes. Okay. And the drawback of using this is, for example, if I'm removing this title new tab, okay, I will show you one thing, but this is not a good practice. You should not use that. Okay.
Yeah.
So if this is one way of copying your XPaths. We have copy XPath, which is relative, full XPath, which is dynamic. These are the copy selectors and other JS if we need, JavaScript if we need. Now, I'm taking this copy XPath as a full XPath as we are going with absolute. I just take one. Copy full XPath, Control F, Control V. Now you noticed it started with single slash right from the HTML page.
Yeah.
Then it is going to the child node, which is head. HTML is a parent. Head is a child. See, this arrow mark, okay, is connecting next to this arrow mark, which is body and head are the two childs of HTML. Style and these two. One second. See, I just close this also. Okay, everything is closed. Okay, head and body is a child of HTML. Head in turn has four more childs. 1, 2, 3, 4, 4 more childs.
Yeah.
Okay. In turn, this style they don't have any child. This CR icon name has 2 more childs. And they in turn this don't have any child. This is having another child. Okay. And these 4 are siblings, brother and sisters. Okay. Till this you make a note of it.
Yeah.
Parent, head, which is exactly this arrow mark should exactly match with the next one. They are all childs. Next, where it is coming? Nowhere it is coming. So only 2 childs. And head is having 4 more children. Style CR, and these 2. 5 more, I guess. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the style has few more children. And these 4 are the siblings. Okay. Just have a first thing. Then we can go for ancestors and other things. This is the DOM structure. Now, for example, in future, if I'm changing this title name or I'm removing this, if I use this absolute path, that is a chance of my test case failures because I'm coming from right from the top. It will keep on coming to next. When I'm trying to find this new tab and if it is not available, my test case will fail. Rest all the other steps will also start failing. Okay, if developer come and makes any changes, if you're going ahead with this XPath, it will be like a big problem or big mistake. It will be headache for us to evaluate, do all the other validations or verification or assertion, everything. Okay, so that is why we have another thing called relative XPaths, which will have lesser impact. If suppose any DOM pages changes, for example, so even if I want to come here, if I use absolute XPath, I should travel from HTML page. For this also I'll show you. Please don't use this method, else you will not have a practice of writing your XPath. I'm sorry, see where I'm doing it. Okay, so write from child node. For example, now this div2, I'm removing it, or the input, this input is this one, I guess. Okay, and in between some division 2 is removed. It will come traversing from HTML body, NTP, app, div. Now this part is missing. So what will happen? My input tag will fail. After input, I might have few more steps. That will also start failing. So that is why using this absolute XPath should be very, it is not that we should not use, but whenever you use, if your DOM is strong, you can go ahead with absolute. Now, for example, relative. As we know, it starts with double slash. Okay. Now I'm copying the relative XPath, which is copy XPath. Control F, Control V. You can see it's starting with double slash. I hope yesterday I told you to see what is star, right?
Yes, it selects all the elements irrespective of the tag name. Multiple elements will be selected.
Instead of tag name, we can give star.
We can use as a star.
No, yeah, we can give, but it allows us to select elements. I mean, if there are multiple matches, it selects all in the
Why my
entire.
DOM is not
We
highlighting anything?
point to the tags.
Yeah.
Okay,
If we get confused of the tag name, we can use as a star.
why to get confused the tag name when you're having such a clear, beautiful explanation over the attributes name and values? Why confusion?
That means when sometimes if we don't know what is the tag name of particular element, uh, we can use it. We can use a star.
Okay,
But this selects multiple elements with ID input, Aarti.
fine. For this, we will see one example. What is exactly star? But your answers are closely like okay, but it is not with
Star
correct.
reference means like any attribute value is acceptable. If you don't know any tag name, that's why star then we use.
Correct. Suppose this input, I'm having like a 6 to 8 inputs. Okay. And I want to do indexing, but I don't know what will happen to my indexing also in future. So at that time, I will make the use of star. If it shows me 1 of 1, then I can take that. When we are not sure of the tag names or when we are not sure where it exactly appears, we can go ahead with the star. So it is responsible of this. This star will take care. When you reach this page, this star will help out in finding input. Okay. For this also, we can see an example later. Now I was explaining something, right? I got deviated. Yeah, so relative XPath. Now see, even if this new tab is removed, it doesn't matter for me if I go for this. Okay, directly it will come to this particular place and it will search my input. So traversing can be easily done using this relative XPaths. It will come in the mid of the DOM. No matter if the previous things changes or not changes, we don't want to do anything. Anyways, it will come to this input and it will give me, it will execute my test cases perfectly. Okay, it is like less brittle, less complicated. Even if the DOM changes, no issues, we can handle it. So there where this relative XPath stands. Okay. But why my DOM is not highlighting anything? So see, as I have taken this ID app div to the input. So this is the relative XPath. Here also we may get some problem when we use, if the div one is not there, that is different case. But the different, this is less, what to say, this will create less issues. But when you go for absolute XPath, it will create a lot of issues. Okay.
Yeah.
So this is the difference between absolute and relative XPath. In relative XPath, we can traverse from the middle of the DOM and towards the bottom. But in backward traversing is also possible using this. But when we come to this HTML, only forward traversing can be done. From first, we have to come down at the bottom. Suppose I want till here. I don't want input, so I can go back till this. I can go. Okay, but I want input as well with the name, so I can go with forward traversing. Okay, if I don't want this in between, I can remove it. See, for example, if I don't want this, still it will highlight my XPath. Okay, but when you come to HTML, HTML should be there. That is the absolute one. So this is the difference between absolute and relative XPaths. Okay, any doubt in this?
No, Aarti.
No, 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 no.
Okay, so syntax for XPath will be like, I'm just writing here. XPath is equal to, you will be having, if it is of absolute, single slash, tag name, @ attributes. I hope you all know what is attributes, right? Attributes
Yes.
is equal to the value. This will be the XPath for absolute. The same way, this will be the XPath for the relative. If you have any confusion, right click, copy, and you can find the XPaths. One second. Okay, now these are the syntax for XPaths. They may ask you to write the syntax for XPath. So you can write and show them in this way. What are the attributes they may ask? What is the tag name they may ask? What is the value? So any doubts in this? Shall we move on to a next?
Yes,
Okay.
yes.
Okay. Now, next we are going to see about is few methods we are going to see. Okay, we will see few methods. Like the first one we have starts with. The second one we have contains. The third one we have text. I hope we have seen this yesterday. And the fourth one we have what we have next is start with contain and text. Okay, we will go ahead with this stuff. Other one I forgot. So starts with is like a this will be used when there is a dynamic change. For example, let's close this. For example, we can take this or this value. Okay, imagine that this partial D445B will be the static value. After that, whatever, whenever you refresh the page or whenever you log out or log in or do some action, the DOM changes after first four letters is static. After that, all the other things will be dynamic. So at that time, you may not know. Okay, we can't every time go to our test cases and change the dynamic values. So at that time, we can make the use of starts with. Okay, like for example, this is my tag name, right? Input is my tag name. I'm using relative XPath. So input at the rate STARTS starts hyphen with, and attribute name. What is my attribute name here?
Value
Value. Okay. Then what should I do? Sorry, it should be a comma. Yes. So I will write the
Equal to
static value D445B. This is my static value. Okay, so whatever comes with this, please give me this value. This is what starts with uses. This is a method. So we have to close and open with single circle brackets. Right? And this, so whenever you run your test case or execute your test case using this value, your test case will pass successfully. The reason is we have given starts with. Doesn't matter back, whatever is there, it will not matter. At the same time, suppose this token is there, hive underscore token. Token may change to API key, or it may change to some other validate. So what I will do, I will give comma, the same way I will give starts hyphen with. What is my attribute name here?
Name.
Name and
name.
underscore. That's it. So whatever comes after the underscore, it will take and it will execute. Or you can do dot send keys or dot click, whatever you want, you can use. Okay, so this is starts with method. We can use in our XPath. Yeah, the other things where it is not a method, but we will have and or operators here. So this is the syntax of starts with. This starts with is nearly to the partial link text which we are having. Sometimes it will work, sometimes it may not work. Dynamic values if you want to go ahead. If it is not working, we can take a second one, which is contains. Okay. Now the syntax for the contains is the same way. Tag name. Then what we have? What we have then?
Attribute.
Attribute
So tag
and
name,
value.
attribute name. Yes.
Square
bracket contents of
Okay.
the
Can
value.
anyone tell me how can I write my contains thing? Contains method.
Input.
Input.
Okay.
square brace at the rate
contents of
contains of
text comma
Yeah.
at the rate name.
Text
Okay.
of
I want to write for this example type. I want to write type.
Yeah,
I
at
want to
the
see
rate
whether
type.
hidden is there or not.
At the rate type,
Mm.
comma, in single quotes, hidden.
hidden.
Okay. So if this contains dot click or dot send keys or context click, anything you can perform on this particular XPath. So this is for contains.
Yeah. Second.
Okay. So this is for contains. Have you ever tried with contains?
Yes, sir. Wait.
Okay. After this explanation, anyone can show me starts with contains text.
Yeah.
And or not also I will explain. Okay. Text I hope you all know, right? Same way input.
tag name
This is another very easy thing.
text equal to
Okay. So this will be your text. So it will give you the exact text. Suppose I want to get the text value of a particular, for example, I want to get this username. So I'll just right click, I'll inspect. It's here. Okay, so Control C, Control F, Control V. I'm getting 1 of 3. Input. So see now, okay, this I will show. Now I don't know, like which which XPath I want. So I'll go in this way. Now you understood why I have used star? Have anyone noticed?
Yeah, ma'am.
See,
Don't
I
anything.
want this. Okay, I'm just copying. Control C, Control F, Control V. I'm sorry. I'm highlighting. Okay, I'm taking this username, Control C, Control F, Control V. It is showing me 1 of 3. But I don't know which username I want. Okay, as of now, I know this username I want. Fine, but imagine that you don't know whether you want this username or you want this username or which is inside the text box. You don't know. So at that time, I will make the use of
Text.
I'll make the use of
Index.
no, I'll make the use of star.
Star.
What happened to my
The
DOM
data.
today? It's not
Other data.
working.
Before text.
Am I missing anything?
At the rate of before text.
No.
At
It
the
is a
rate,
method. Okay, we
This
will
will
not
not.
have at the rate.
Yeah.
Previously it highlighted. Now what happened? Okay, so something is going wrong. So that is how we use the star over here. Okay, if I use star, when I execute my test case, it will understand that I'm trying to fetch the values of this username. Okay,
Ma'am, remove
let
and
me.
remove and equal. Remove equal and comma.
No. This is the method which I always use. So in this, I can't make any mistake. I'll just get this and see. 1 second. Where is login heading? Login. Control C, Control F, Control V. Oh, 1 of 90. Star text equal to this. See, it's highlighting. I don't know why. Okay, have you now seen at
Slash
least?
star RP.
Sorry?
Slash and star.
No. I did sing because in this I will not do any mistake because this is the one which I
No.
always
In
use.
the end, sorry, not today.
Syntax is correct.
After square brace, it's a slash
Ah,
and star.
If you want to
after
inline this, you
square
go and
Square
brace.
brace. Yeah, end of the square brace. In the end, slash and star. Hopefully, not sure.
No, now this is see. Okay, you have not seen, right? Now see, this is login. Okay, I'm taking this, and if it's showing me 1 of 19 elements, but I
Yeah.
want a login which is present here. I can't go and search for all the 19 elements.
All right.
What I will do
Okay.
is /* text method. So it will highlight 1 of 1. Simple.
Okay.
That's where we use star. Okay,
Okay, Aarti.
okay.
Yeah.
got it? Right.
Yeah. Yeah.
We use this text
ma'am.
method to highlight which
Hmm.
element we use.
Yes.
We can't
The
find.
star will take care, but this is not recommended. If you use this one, sir will definitely scold us. But in cases, this is like an emergency thing. If you don't know, you want to make your test case pass, if there is an emergency, you can use this one. But never ever, these are all, see, whatever methods I'm showing you is all for emergency cases. Right click, copying XPath, right click, copying this. Everything is emergency test case, emergency things. Okay, but never ever try all these things. In order to show the differences between the double slash, single slash, how it works, that is why I'm showing you all these stuffs. We have another selector hub, we have grow path, we have, these are all the tools which we can use to get the XPaths or get the locators.
Yeah.
But
Aarti,
these all,
sorry for this question. When we are getting directly, when we right click and copy XPath,
mm.
why does it matter that we have to write it by ourselves? I'm sorry for this. Yeah.
See, because if you have a practice of first thing is we will not be able to as
Learn.
education or learning wise we will forget to learn those things if we have such kind of tools.
Yeah.
Nowadays we're having AIs also. We stopped using all these things. We're directly giving the JSON file to the AI. It is
Oh.
fetching the XPaths for us, if you don't believe that. And now we are using that where we forgot yesterday or day before yesterday, I was not able to write my XPath. I forgot. So this is what
Okay. It
happens
is,
to us.
yeah, to learn
Yes.
the basics and fundamentals
Yes.
properly. Okay.
Secondly,
Yeah.
some clients will not accept using those XPaths. They will ask if I change something in between, how it will matter for me. How will you know? How will you traverse? So at the time you should know. So these are the headings we have. So I'm traversing in this way. If we ask you to write the XPath in front of everyone, you should able to write. So see, I can write XPath in this way. Okay, I'm getting, okay, as it is getting 1 of 1, fine. If I get 1 of 19, what can I do? I can use star, I can use text method, I can use attribute. That time you should explain them. They will not accept. They will not understand also. That's the reason. Don't use this because in your code, easily, whoever is your seniors, they will find it out. Whether you have copied from this Crow path, or you have done from X selector hub, or you have done from the DOM, this developer tools using the full XPath and normal XPath. They will easily identify because no one will write XPath with div, all those things they will never
Yeah.
use. If you
Yeah.
have name, directly you will jump to name. See,
Okay.
even for this, suppose you're writing XPath by your own. Okay, you will not start with this, right? I can start from this also. Why I should go from the top? If you write
Yeah.
like this, okay, they will understand something you have done. If you use class name, they will understand you have done. But if you write in this way, easily they will identify what you have used and what. Because in future, they will remove this div. At the time,
Yeah.
our class name will not change, okay? They will not change the class name. But this
Yeah.
div data, they will remove this.
Yeah. They can add
But
one more. Remove. Yeah.
they will add one more or they will remove one more. At the time, your test case will fail if you write in this way.
Right.
But if you use your class name or some other things, it will be capable of identifying the class name and executing your test cases.
Okay.
At that time, you can make the use of star.
Yeah.
Okay. So
Okay.
star is acceptable sometimes, but not all the times. But these two activities are strictly prohibited. But again, if there is an emergency, if you have any valid point to convey to sir or to client, you can explain. At the time, it is acceptable. But these two activities are strictly prohibited. Don't use this. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Fine.
Yeah.
So where we were, okay, so we have done now text, we have done contains, we have done starts with. Now and or and or. These are the logical operators which we have seen in Java. Now why we have to use this in our web elements to identify or to locate the web elements. The reason behind this is, for example, in future, this login button is changed to submit. Okay. At the time, suppose you don't want to waste your time going and changing all those things. At that time, you can make the use of and or or. The login button can be, you can use, suppose you're using or. If you find this login button, click, or you find submit button, click. So the syntax, how you can write for this is, suppose I'm having the tag name. Okay. And I'm having the attribute name, attribute value, I'm giving as login. It can be a button or something. Okay, let me keep it as a button. Okay. So my button name, if it is login or what is syntax? Okay, we will check it. At button name is equal to submit.
Type.
Sorry,
We use at the rate of type and submit.
why can't we use button? Why we use type?
I do.
This is always, you don't know, right? See, button. Type is an attribute. Button is an attribute. Always these buttons will be under buttons only. Okay? They will never be, type can be submit, but the tag will be always button. Tag name will be button.
Oh.
If it is an input, if you see, even if you, instead of this, if you write input in your test scripts, it will throw an error. Like this type is not an input. You will see all these errors when you write. When you're entering something, and if you give instead of input, if you give button, it will throw an exception or error. This type is not matched. Found input, input expected, but you have given button. So these all exceptions you will find when you're coming and writing the test cases. Right? So always, whenever you click something, it will be a button or it will be something related to button. If you're coming to this, it will always be with input. When you're entering something, input tag will be, they will be giving. Some developers will forget to give this input. They will start with data. At that time, you have to use these XPaths, parent-child relationship, all those things will come. They will enter into. If input is not there, you can go for type. Type equal to hidden. But definitely there will be an input tag. I have never seen any DOM without these things. And headings. Suppose this heading is there, right? Username admin. So they will be heading always. See, this will be with heading tag, paragraph tag.
Paragraph.
Heading. Login is a heading. Sorry, this is heading. They have given this with heading.
Heading.
And these are also under this heading, it is in paragraph, I think so. That's why they have give P tag, paragraph tag. Username and admin, paragraph. So all these things you have to know a normal HTML structure, DOM structure. Right now, so suppose this button is of login or it changes to submit, no matters, my test case will pass because then you can keep as click or whatever you want, you can do it. Definitely this will pass. Either or conditions it has to satisfy. Okay, there might be some scenario, you will face this scenario while automating. This login will sometime change to submit, but when you do manual test case, it will remain login. These type of scenarios you will face when you work for real-time project. At the time, you can make the use of try-catch block. I hope you know try-catch block, right?
Yeah.
You can make the use of try-catch block or you can go for AND. It should be login and it should be submit. If both the conditions satisfied, you can go with click, but AND will give you problem. So always go with or, either this or this. And right, both the conditions should satisfy. Or is either condition if satisfied, you can use this. Mostly we have used or only. Else we will go with try catch block. We will write one try and we will say by dot xpath. We will write this xpath here. If this is there, then click this. Okay. We will close it. Else, catch. Exception. Another xpath we will write here. And we will write this one. And methods, if you want to click, you can right click here. In this way, we will handle the code. Okay, if you want to handle here itself, you can make the use of or. So your test case will not fail. And is also with the same syntax. Okay. Instead of this, you can write and. Fine. So this is these all things we can see with this XPath. So you can use these all combinations with XPaths. These are all the ways. There are some 14 ways of doing XPath with parent-child relationships, siblings, ancestors, all the 14 types. You can try. We are having one this thing also. In the diagrams, you can see. This is the diagram. Okay. Where is the XML format for this? See, this is the, what format is this?
XML.
XML.
I had another difference, XML plus HTML. I had that blog is not there. Fine. Now I want bookstore. This is something else. Columbia. Okay. Now, this will be your root element. Imagine this bookstore is your HTML root element. Okay. Below the bookstore, we have seen, right, that we have. So imagine HTML is your bookstore. Below that, we have two children's. If you are confused, just close this tab. You will have in this format. Okay. This HTML has two children's, head and body. The same way, if you see here, this is HTML, and this HTML has only one child, that is element. But we had two things, head and body. I'll just come with the first level only. Okay. These, if I go with this, you will get confused. So I'll just come with first level. Okay. We are having head. Imagine head and body. Now below below the head. Okay, one second. Below the head, we don't have any children. They are all with links. We don't have any children. Fine. Done. Below the body, we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 children. And these 5, 1, 2, 3, 4 are siblings to each other. That's where this stands. So HTML DOM will be the parent. Head and body will be the child. Below head, we don't have any, but here it has 4 children. But for us, we don't have any child. But for body, we had 4 children. I think so, this diagram. Okay, I will draw one diagram and I'll share with you. But I hope you can imagine, right?
Yes, Aarti. Yeah.
Yes, Aarti. Yes.
Okay. We had another good diagram. Saujanya. Saujanya is in the call. Saujanya is not there. Okay, I will ask Saujanya and I will share that diagram with you. Okay. So just imagine we are having this child. It's a flow chart only. Below the childs, we have 2 more children and these 4 will be called as siblings. If I expand the first sibling, it has any child? No, it doesn't have because it is closed. Dot style is closed. So, okay, simple. With this, we have any children? No, we don't have. With this, we have, yes. Now, see, so for this div, the head will be ancestor, grandparent. Who is the mother of this div? Div data is the mother of this div.
Okay.
Who is the grandmother of this div?
ID.
No.
ID.
Grandmother
ID.
of this div. Yes.
ID.
Who is the ancestor of this div?
Body.
Body. Body.
And we have one more ancestors. I forgot that. So ancestors is HTML in this way, but this will not be like, just learn with the first level only. That's enough. Sibling level and the parent following sibling levels. That's enough. Don't go with very deep. Fine. So this is the parent-child relationship. And the diagram I will ask Saujanya and I will share with you. So tomorrow, what we can do is, 1 second, I'll just see what are all the topics we are having. One second, just stop recording.